Messages from Home, Part 2, Walking the Center Path. November 9, 2014. Our dear Ascending Ones. We the Arcturians and all the members of your multidimensional families realize how long you have served your mission to assist Gaia and her humans who are lost in the illusions of third-dimensional Earth. We realize how challenging your mission can be. We also wish to remind you that all the great masters of Earth endured years and years of defeat before they were recognized. In fact, many of them were only recognized after they had died/returned home. Thus we remind you that you are in good company. How many saints and masters have gone through what you are experiencing? Yes, our dear Ascending Ones, you too are on the path of saints and masters. Also, remember that all of humanity has the right and ability to walk that path as well. You, our beloved family, have the great task of convincing them that they can create that reality. There are many who are quietly on the path of saints and masters because they too are the path of ascension. In fact, all of humanity can choose to walk that path within this now. Along that path there are many moments of disappointment, disillusionment, anger, and fear. There are also moments of joy, bliss, unity consciousness, and unconditional love. To find the center path that resonates in between all third-dimensional polarities is difficult and increasingly challenging in a world in which it may appear that the darkness is winning. We speak to you today from the armada of higher dimensional starships that are surrounding your world. The name of the starship is difficult to pronounce in your human tongue, so we have translated it to sound like the River of Light, or Rivera. This starship is actually what you would title a mothership because of its size and because the ship serves as the caring mother for many generations of inhabitants. We Arcturians are no longer limited to a physical planet. Instead, we desire to travel through the multiverse, performing our mission of surrounding pre-ascending realities with our Arcturian corridor to assist them with the process of planetary ascension. Our corridor is a huge frequency net that serves to protect birthing realities from the harshness of those who do not wish to release the polarities of the third-fourth dimension. Within this corridor of protection, many of the members of our way team to the ascending planet, in your case planet Earth, there is a level of protection for those who have expanded their consciousness into the fourth and fifth dimensions. Earth is a free will planet, and there are still many who are freely choosing to remain in the power over others positions that they have maintained since the fall of Atlantis. Therefore, ascending Earth has many conflicts within her planetary system. The power over factions do not wish to surrender the control they have over the population, and will stop at nothing to maintain their position. However, since they have used nuclear devices, which have harmed other planets and dimensions, we have been able to turn off all those devices. We also cleared out the huge underground cities they created so that they could fulfill their plan to destroy the surface while they safely waited underground. It may seem to kind-hearted members of your reality that this scenario is impossible, and we wish that it were. But, in order to fully reveal the highest light, the darkest dark must be brought to the surface of the awareness of humanity. Unfortunately, the brainwashing campaign of the power over factions has been quite successful and many still slumber in the illusions of the third dimension. Due to the free will nature of Earth, there is not much we can do for those who choose to remain in those lower frequencies of reality. In order for us to fully assist humanity, we must work from the inside by assisting those who are ready and willing to release their third-dimensional habits in order to expand their consciousness into their multidimensional self. You see, the source of the need to have power over others stems from not having power over one's self. Thus, the inability to have power over one's own self is based on a limited state of consciousness. Those limited to only third-dimensional consciousness have a very small perspective of reality. Hence, they cannot understand that the energy they send out will eventually return to them. But those ruled by darkness seem to get away with it every day. You may say, if I do something against another, it seems to quickly return to me. You are correct in your observation. Those of you on the ascension path have expanded your consciousness into the higher frequencies. Therefore, the energy that you put out quickly returns. Please realize that this immediate return also occurs when you send out unconditional love and multidimensional light. Those still trapped in darkness can only put out power over others, which is a form of fear. If they don't do that first, then someone will do it to them. That type of thinking is very fearful and limits their consciousness to the third and lower fourth dimensional realities. The darkness may seem to be winning, but you can log out the entire game by leaving that frequency of reality. In fact, that leaving is known as ascension. In the meantime, there are still many humans on Earth who are still operating within the confines of third-dimensional thinking. Third-dimensional consciousness is the primer state of planetary evolution in which the inhabitants are still learning that energy outcreates the same energy back into their reality. Because the majority of the population has not yet mastered this basic law of cause and effect, the few are still able to rule over the many. One of the main reasons that this occurs is because the dominant state of consciousness is still third-dimensional, which is ruled by the illusion of time. Therefore, the energy that goes out into your world takes time to return to the sender. Furthermore, the lower the state of consciousness, the longer it takes for the cause to return. Hence, the dark ones, who resonate to a very low state of consciousness, do not see the effects of the energy field they sent out for a very long time. On the other hand, those on the path of ascension and have expanded their consciousness into the higher frequencies of reality, are preparing to transmute into the fifth dimension, which is free of all time. Since you are preparing for an instant manifestation of your thoughts and emotions, the effects of your causes are occurring more and more rapidly. You are like fetuses preparing to leave what appears to be the safety of the womb. You want to live in a completely different reality that is far beyond the knowing of the birthing infant. Just as the infant is very fragile during the process of birth, you are very fragile during your process of rebirth. There is something that is happening to your body that you do not totally understand. Furthermore, you are getting flashes of realities that are totally unlike the one you are experiencing within the womb. Yes, our beloved ascending ones, you are within the womb of our Arcturian corridor waiting for the now of your great transition. Unfortunately, because your thinking is still bound to waiting, a time-bound concept, you have the experience of waiting for something to happen. However, as your consciousness continues to expand, your sense of time will transmute into your experience of now. Within that now you will know that you are ascending because you will know that you are no longer who you were and have no real idea of who you will be. It is during this experience that your best choice is to assist others. By assisting others you ground yourself in the body of Gaia, and you keep your consciousness in the higher frequencies by sharing what you have learned. If you look at the lives of your saints and masters, their lives were not easy. These ascending ones knew that they would not return to live within the holographic projection. Therefore, they wanted to share what they had learned that had allowed them to return to their true multidimensional self. Since these ascending ones were moving beyond their personal consciousness and expanding into unity consciousness, planetary consciousness and galactic consciousness, they were able to rise above the illusions of the third dimension. Because unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and unconditional acceptance are the cornerstone of ascension, they were above all sense of being a victim. They knew that they were the creators of their reality, even if their ascension was preceded by a great personal challenge. Their thoughts were not for themselves but for the innocent, unawakened ones who had become so trapped in the net of illusion that they could not perceive how the energies that they sent out would feel when they returned back to them. Since one must know universal laws within themselves before they can perceive them in their own reality, these unawakened ones became easily trapped in the third-dimensional deception sent out by the Dark Ones. We Arcturians often refer to the Dark Ones as the Lost Ones because they have become lost in the darkness of power over others. Most of them were not born as Lost Ones, but became lost because of their family systems and outer realities. Many chose to enter these families in order to help, but eventually succumbed to the familial indoctrinations. We send these lost ones our unconditional love and will be there to assist them when the power over energies return to them via the law of cause and effect. However, Since their consciousness is usually very low, it may take many of their years before they receive the energy field that they have been sending out to others. What is occurring within you now is that there are higher frequency energy fields moving into the actual body of Gaia that are expanding the resonate frequency of the planet into higher dimensions. This process has had to be slow and steady, or it would cause great harm to Gaia's planet. Those of you who have expanded your consciousness to encompass the higher dimensions will, and are, the first ones to experience that something in your reality has changed. You know this change because you feel a sense of protection that was not there before. This protection is your own higher states of consciousness. Even though darkness seems to be winning in many areas of reality, what is actually occurring is that the darkness is becoming obvious to you because you are moving beyond its influence. You know that because you can perceive the resonance patterns of those who actually embrace the darkness and misperceive it as their light. What is occurring in you now is that the polarities of light and dark are becoming more obvious to you because you are perceiving the third dimension from the higher viewpoint of your multidimensional consciousness. We know that it is difficult for many of the members of our Way team to see how many are being fooled by the darkness. We also know how difficult it can be to remember to send unconditional love and violet light to those who appear to be destroying their world. We want to inform you that Gaia will no longer tolerate the heavy burden of a polarized reality in which the darkest polarity has far too often ruled. Therefore, she is releasing the density of her third-dimensional resonance. Those of you who have expanded your consciousness will move with Gaia's into her fifth-dimensional expression of New Earth. In other words, Gaia has regained her own inner balance and is releasing the very third-dimensional net that assisted her from falling off her axis at the demise of Atlantis. Those who exist in time will remain on the third-dimensional matrix of Earth, whereas those who expand their consciousness into the fifth dimension and beyond will join Gaia on New Earth. The fourth-dimensional astral plane will exist at the place in between to unify and assist those who wish to ascend, but need time to expand their consciousness. You, our beloved family and friends who have taken Earth vessels to assist with planetary ascension, are facing many challenges. However, because of your expanded consciousness, you know that the best way to help yourself is to help others. You are all multidimensional leaders who will open the portals to New Earth, while you stay behind to assist others through them. Unconditional love to you all, your galactic and celestial family. Channeled by Suzanne Lee. SuzanneLeePhD.blogspot.com